What is up, you guys? My name is Cosmo Star, and welcome back to another podcast demo. Now, you might have heard from the first podcast that I probably won't be doing this again, or I don't know, for now. But, I'm just so bored. I'm really bored. I was thinking of doing a podcast with my music teacher, which hopefully that will happen because I've been asking him so many times and he's like been kind of putting it off a bit. And I know he's busy and I got some stuff, but when that person that says like, oh yeah, I'll do that, or I'll get that done, or yeah, they'll be like yes, but then months later they haven't done it or it hasn't, you know. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna be with that. Like we're gonna get this done, But so for the vibes, it looks like he's okay with it. So, but yeah, I'm gonna do a second and a third, which is will be the final demo podcast. So today, like I said, I'm just bored because I ain't got no work. So like I did all my assignments for electronic music. I literally finished my critical thinking class and also my biology. Like I did that. Like I would say for both of those two classes, except music, electronic music, and also popular ensemble. Well, that's sort of different, but sorry. But forget about popular ensemble. Let's talk about biology and critical thinking. Like when I finished those, I probably finished those like all the assignments. Like I haven't. Well, let me say to make it easier. Like I haven't touched on those two classes since like almost the beginning of April because I like did like I went ahead of time in doing these assignments because and also there was just so much work. Like it was like for critical thinking, it's so you have to do so many essays. Like you have to write like 10 5 5 to 10 pages, and it's just so much, it's just so much. Even though I love that class, I it's 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 overwhelming than an English class because like I typically like I think English classes are more calmer, and less like you don't have to do so many essays. But this is too much. But biology is cool. Like all they do well for my class is like you just take quizzes and test, and then that's pretty much it. So yeah, so I got ahead of everything. There's just a little bit like of things left. Like I got my music recital, which is popular ensemble concert thing. Then have a piano recital, and then we have what's it called? Um, for like in the musician world, it is a final, but there's a word like I can't remember, but it's like they test you on things, but it doesn't matter. I don't. It's okay. But that's and then also I have not, no, I have not stated on this podcast, but I am doing a internship with student life and leadership. And what I have been doing is capturing students in government organizations, like taking pictures and videos because I'm the photographer. And then eventually at the end of the year, I'm going to make a video circling towards that and like for awards stuff. So, and that has been taking some time off of school. Like, I've been taking some time to do those things, and I just have to finalize it and then send it to the student life department. Other than that, yeah. So, let's talk about last week. So, last week, the whole entire week, I got sick, but I still showed up, and I also keep in mind I was wearing a mask, so I wasn't like spreading it everywhere. But I was very sick because I knew it from well, not right from the start. But from Wednesday, I was like, oh, this is not going away. So I realized that from the start of when I went out on that Friday night when I was going to a One Direction party, and that was like my first One Direction party ever. And because I was just with a bunch of people, they're screaming and yelling, and I was also yelling the lyrics and stuff. And by the way, I am new to, I'm not, okay, I am new a little bit to One Direction. I mean, I have heard their popular hits, and stuff, but like I haven't listened to the entire catalog like I think for a long time, but like not for the full length of it. And I went back to it, and there were some songs that I was like, why didn't I not like this on my Spotify? And so, and one of my favorite songs that I love listening to is, I think it's called Moments. It's just it just makes me emotional. It's just a good song. But anyways, going back to how I got sick was be from that One Direction party. And then Saturday and Sunday I was at an ASU music conference for popular music, and that's where I'm gonna actually transfer for next year, not 2026 but 2027 in the fall, because I graduate next year, which honestly I should graduate this year because it's the last year, and then because May, it like overlaps or whatever. So, but I went to uh, both Saturday and Sunday at ASU, and the first day it was really amazing. I had a nice outfit, as I should, representing the ASU colors, and obviously people are like wanting to come up to me, and I introduced themselves. I'm a musician. I sing. I play piano a little bit. I also write. I write lyrics. I do. I also produce, and I also go to South Island Community College. And while I was at the first conference meeting, I was in the front row, and there was these two corporate, I would say, people that were talking about branding and like how you get out there. Like you see these brandings like Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, Harry Styles. They have some unique branding that gets out to fans and wanting to have their merch and music, and also going on tour, and also other things like like for an example, like if Harry Styles wanted to collab with Target, Target would be interested in collabing with Harry and his team, and making something to profit for mostly the corporate, for Target, but also for the artists as well. And so that's what they were talking about. And as they were talking about, I was taking notes in my mind, because I personally already am in the branding sort of place, but no corporate is coming to me and being like, hey, we want to feature you on Walmart or something, or Target, or let's go to a higher brand, Coach. And so, but one of these speakers then was like, because for the most part of their like talking, they were looking at me the entire time, but they were wearing sunglasses, so I couldn't tell. But they were like using me as an example of some sort of branding because of how I was dressed up, and I look amazing and stuff. And they asked what my name was, and I was like, my name is Cosmo, and so they talked about me for like at least 2 minutes, like he could be doing this, he could be doing that, he looks so perfectly fit for whatever he come across as, whether if it's like singing on stage or like branding with people, all that stuff. So I was like, I was really starstruck, but I was like, in my mind, I was like, I know I ate that. So, but yeah, after that, then there was like a second level. I went upstairs, and I met there, and I was there last year. So I met some of these people as I was at um, in the ASU building. And so I met some of these people and I was like, hey, just catching up some things about like what's going on and stuff like that. And yeah, and then I went to other music conferences too on that day. And then uh, around, I think, like, I can't give it a time, but I went out to my favorite restaurant downtown. And then, I was just like, I can't survive the night, like Five Nights at Freddy's, like, I can't survive until 3 a.m. or something. So I just went home because, my feet are tired. I'm tired. So I went home, and I'm glad I went home because I needed to recharge and stuff. So I went home, recharged. I went back out the next day on Sunday at later, like in the evening time. And they did have conferences, but I was like, I'm just so tired. I need energy. So I went to the like sort of DJ festival in this big at this place called what's this place? What is it called? It's like have features art and stuff. Oh, Walter Studios. I went to Walter Studios for the first time, and I was like, wow, I really like this venue because what's so different is that other venues don't have art like this. Like there's so much art here. It's almost like I'm in like a Phoenix, art gallery and stuff. So I was really amazed of that. But but yeah, and then I met also some people. Like I met one person that I recognized from the last time I was at ASU, and it was at an after party, and he was cool and stuff. And I love. I actually need to like listen to his music, but I have heard his music before, and I was like, yeah, I'm so excited to. I had a chat with him. I'm so excited to hear from you. It's finally to be back. And stuff. And then I met other artists as well that are mostly DJs, but also R&B and rap and stuff. And I was there throughout the night, and I was also dancing and stuff. Like I'm so glad there was another person that was also like grooving this almost the same way as me, but I do it a little bit. I get that extra 10%. Um, but everyone was really lovely, and yeah. Oh, I wanted to tell you this, guys. I wanted to tell you this for the people who are listening in this podcast. So what? This is like the okay. This is the first time I know I said that so many people compliment me, okay, and they like they say whatever they want nicely, and I'm like, oh, thank you. But this is the first time that someone ever said this to me, and I was like, hey, hey. So like when I was at was this was like the first day of popular music conference and stuff, and when I was like finishing with the first conference, I went upstairs, and as soon as I stepped upstairs, this black man called me. Like he was like, hey, sexy black man. And I was like, oh, hey. That like caught me off guard, but it was fine because I'm used to that. And this was someone who was also in the music at Popular ASU. Yeah. Sorry, Noah, my teacher, just looked at me, and I don't know if he knows what's going on, but I just whatever. So I was like, okay, and then I introduced myself to him, and he was also having a nice outfit as well. He had a cowboy hat on. He had, I think, a white dress shirt, and then he was wearing loafers, and and also pants, obviously, and and then I met. He happened to we came across each other when I was in the production in the studio and stuff, and then he was like, "Oh, I gotta take a picture of you, dude. Can I take a picture of you?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I thought he was being generous and giving, like, taking pictures so that he can send it to me. But later, then I found he asked for my Insta and stuff, and so I looked on his Insta, and then I saw me, and I saw what he wrote and stuff, and at first I was like, "Wait a minute, this looks what is going on here?" I didn't want it to jump to conclusions, so but the things, how can I say this? The things that he was saying, it was like this is a bad analogy or example, but this is the only way I can get through this and not stuck on this story. So it was giving like, Master Shifu or something, like some higher up, and he was just like, you know, oh, and this is not his exact words or what his text was, but I was just saying like just give you an example, like, oh, wise one, oh, you are so talented, oh, you are a strong, confident black man, oh, you may, even though you still have, more years to go, you are wise, and you will go through, you will be able to um carry the storm or something. Just something mysterious or whatnot. But I was like, okay. And then I saw like he post other people in the same, in the caption. It's the same, almost the same, sort of vibe and stuff. So I just wanted to bring that up because I was like, wow. But yeah, so I got sick throughout the entire week, and it, it like I said, I only realized it until like Wednesday, and then throughout the throughout the rest of the week, I tried to survive, and I took some ad, Tylenol and cough medicine and stuff, and then I felt better on Sunday. It's like after a whole, like it just went through a whole week, and then I felt so much better right on Sunday, like crazy. But anyways, I want to talk about. So I okay. So as you know, I'm not able to. I'm okay. Last podcast was crazy because like when I was like trying to pronounce words, it got way too crazy. Like, and I apologize for that. I was just so overwhelmed or so overstimulated. But today I'm feeling really fine. But anyways, so on my notes I put dude Lulu because I don't know how to spell Dululu, so I put dude Lulu. So yeah, and also spelled fashion wrong, which for some reason I don't know how to spell that much. I mean, I know how to spell basic words and stuff, but like, or maybe, no, did I spell fashion wrong? It's okay. But sorry, I thought Noah again was giving me like sign language or something. So let's talk about Dude Lulu. So Lulu. And this is a segment that's going to be interesting because it may not be reality. I mean, that's the whole point, but it's just like to give you an idea of what I think about sometimes, like maybe when I go to sleep. So as a musician, you know i really loved I really like other musicians going on tour, but for me, and I'm just like listing out what I want to do. And so what I want to do, if I was like an artist that had a crowd and like was able to fit people in like, the Van Buren and stuff, I would, and like let's start there. So the Van Buren, right? I love it. My favorite venue in Phoenix. So, and I would do like, oh my God, we're gonna get into so many things. Like I would do a residency in at the Van Buren. Like it's just such my favorite like venue. Like you don't know how it is if you just go look it up and like see how many artists played there. But anyways, I would do a residency there. But also, if I'm not doing a residency, I will also go to like similar. venue size like the Van Buren. Like I know this is a little bit bigger. No, no, I don't know if it's a little bit bigger or smaller. I don't know. I'm just gonna name venues possibly like the. Oh, hold on, my mic, my computer locked me out because it doesn't like me. Uh, Hold on, one guys. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like and share this podcast or whatnot because you know what? Like I said, I'm only gonna do one more, and it's gonna be a podcast with Noah, hopefully soon, because you know I'm just so bored. Okay, hold on. I'm also multitasking while typing. Okay, there we go. So venues, other venues. I would do the Crescent Ballroom. I haven't been there before because you know what? They only allow people who are 21 and older, which sucks because they do so many other things like club things, you know, like a chaperone night or Lady Gaga night or whatever. So Crescent Ballroom. I forgot that other venue that's like Dorado, I think in Tucson. I don't know. I love Tucson, by the way. I was born there. Um, I know this is a little bit bigger, but stay with me, okay? Um, the Arizona Financial Theater. I also love that place. I also do the Marquee Theater. I would do that as well. I would also do Walter Studios. That's a new one. I would also go into that one. What else? Um, remember, guys, when I like you, if you like watch my content, remember when I said that I wasn't gonna say so much because it was just like too much, you know? I'm sorry. It's just I'm just maybe I'm not overstimulated, but it's, you know, just enough to forget that sometimes. Anyways, that's the only small venues I can think of so far. You know what? How about this? My college, because and that's like think of the Van Buren but smaller. Like it can fit like 300 people, 350. So I would do that as well. But other than that, yeah, those are like the small venues I would do. But I also do a residency at the Van Buren. Oh, so more Delulu. Uh, forget. I'm just gonna keep saying. Sorry. Anyways, I would also want to tour out of the city. Like I don't know. Like I would do like North America. Well, I would do the states. I would do the states. Anywhere, all 50 states. But the one that the most states I would do is California and New York, and also Arizona, obviously. So because obviously that's where the things are popping, things are shaking. You know, that's where everything is at, entertainment wise. You know, and then I can't talk about the outside of the United States, like the UK, Ireland, Dublin, um, Dubai, um, Turkey, lettuce and cheese. No, another one, Australia, like because it's just so much, and I would do some of those. I would do those places as well. I would go shows there, but for the states, I would do all 50 states. Um, Obviously, you're thinking like as a small artist, like what's the budget? Like this is gonna be expensive, and we're not talking about money right now. I'm just like I said, it's not in reality, unfortunately. So what else? You know, when I have fans, I want to also, when I'm not doing shows, if I'm like, taking a long break after tour or I'm not actually touring, I would actually want to continue showing up, but only by playing video games and like, making a Twitch channel or a Discord and having a community on another platform. because I can just see that for myself. Like if I'm like, hey guys, so I'm doing a show on Saturday and stuff, but on Monday I'm also gonna be doing GTA 5. So you can join on the Twitch channel and stuff like that. Or you know what? If people aren't able or fans aren't able to come to my shows, I would want a live stream. A live stream either on YouTube or Discord or Twitch. Wait, not Discord because Discord doesn't really do that, but like Twitch. And just to, because, people are going to record this event and also want to see it. So I'm going to give them the opportunity to, like, if people are not able to see my shows, because of, whatever situation, you're able to see it on YouTube. Okay. And another thing, when artists, when they done like a tour and they doing it like during like the let's just say it for vinyls, they'll do like, okay, California, um like how do I even say this, like they'll play their songs but it's live and it's on a vinyl. There you go. I love that. And I would do one for like a limited edition, like, live in Phoenix, and they can get it for like, you know, they can get it in their like these indie record stores and stuff like that to help support small business because, I love to support small businesses. So that's okay, I love microphones. I don't know about um I, yeah, I love microphones. I like to switch out sometimes. Like I like the ones that are just like, okay, I like ones that are wireless and ones that are not wireless. I can't get into specifics of like what type because logistics wise, I don't think I can pull that in my memory. But different such situations, um, I would use like a condenser or whatnot, or whatever it is. Well, it depends on like, if I want to do it on stage or if I want to with the microphone, or do I want to clamped up to a drum or something, because you can use them for so many situations. Hold on. Okay. You can use them for so many situations. And it's kind of fun because, as an artist, I want to be comfortable with what I'm holding on stage. Whatever it's a mic, whatever it's a prop, I want to be comfortable. And so with microphones, uh, I want to and also, you know what my favorite thing is about like in like those in like this subject is like in ear on monitors, because that's my favorite thing, like to just hear the backing track and just knowing, like, to be on time and everything. It's just everything. I don't know, it's just everything. But anything else besides before we move on, Dululu, besides Dululu. Oh, honestly, for me as an artist, I love to do VIPs. Like I want to, I won't be like those artists that like charge so much for, like the Van Buren or like and just in general, because you know what, you shouldn't be taking your whole paycheck to pay for a concert ticket, especially if it's a VIP ticket. Like that's ridiculous. These corporate, like Ticketmaster, I'm calling you out. You need to stop with these ticketing like prices, like this so-called inflation. Because you have so much money. Okay, and you just want to take. Leave some for the artists and also leave some for the fans. Because you know what, you're not gonna go away. Like no one's trying to like get rid of you, but you know what, you need to do less with that situation. Anyways, so when I'm doing like my VIP, like for instance, if I'm going on tour and my album, recognizing the album, I want to like put pieces together. Like I'll like for the VIP, you can get um a CD, a Polaroid camera, a limited edition of Polaroid camera from me taking a picture of something. I don't know. Um, bracelet, a necklace. Uh, what else? Stuffed animal. I don't know, like a little toy or something. Just something that's memorable for like VIP, and also like the process of like meeting people. So I figured like if I was in this situation, I would when people like when we do a meet and greet, I would take a picture of them. I would sign it and I'd be like, here you go. As a like, I'll be in the picture actually, obviously. I will be in the picture and I would answer any of the questions or whatnot. I would sing well, yeah, I would sing, not too much because, I'm doing a show. Um, Also, I'm so glad I remember this. I want to also bring my dog with me on tour, like, and then that would be part of the meet and greet because that would be so fun. Like, you never heard like well, I haven't heard an artist that has brought their dog on tour, and then to have fans like do a meet and greet and like interact with the dog as well. So that would be a fun thing as well because I love my dog, and I feel I'm so attached to my dog. Like, he's my son. He's my son, and also he's like my brother from another mother, which is also, well, I don't want to say that because that would be, I am not a comedian, so I will not say that. But and then also another Delulu thing is that traveling. So I get that many artists, they travel in airplanes or jets, but I want to travel on a train. How about that? How about that for a change? How about I travel on a train while on tour? Okay? Because, besides loving trains, but trains are more safer than airplanes. Like, I don't want to be in air. And then what if I need to use the restroom or something? Obviously, there's a toilet in the airplane, but like, if I have to, in certain situations, if I ate something or if I'm sick or whatnot, or if I just don't feel like being in the air, like, there's no way out but, you know, out of the plane. So, well, that's the thing with the train, but I don't know. I just love traveling on the train to see more scenery than like just being up in air and seeing clouds. That's so more interesting. Um, and also, this also applies to like me being a musician. I want to own a locomotive and also have my own coach car and stuff in it. Because I listen. These millionaires or billionaires, they have their boat, they have their car, they have their jet, but you don't hear any billionaire to have a train. And so I want to be, and this is not like a flexer or want to be like the first artist to own a locomotive, and going on tour. Like, it's not about that because like if you already know, I love model trains and trains in general. So if I'm on the Guinness World Record for like the first artist to own a locomotive and stuff, then I'll do that. But obviously, that's going to cost a lot of money. So let's just put it into our minds that, we have been on tour for so long and we're doing another tour. So all that money, and also, you know, to make it look like it was a lot. I went to Coachella. I went to Lollapalooza. I went to I collaborated with a bigger artist, to go on tour. So that amount of money will go towards, and I said this is the Lulu. This will go towards buying that locomotive, and the process of buying a locomotive is calling the locomotive company or train company and being like, hey, I would like to have my own locomotive and stuff, and also like a cab. Yeah, so that I can go traveling because I don't like airplanes and stuff. And, we can talk about the logistics and stuff later. But, I just want to, have a sit down and chat and have a meeting with you. And then I'll do that. And then it will happen. And also, technically I don't want to drive the train. Someone will drive it for me. I'm just obviously traveling on the train to like, cities. And yeah, so that's also what I think about as well. This is not like something I just pop out of my butt or something. Like this is actually what I want to do or want to actually have one day. Other than that, I think this is gonna be it for Delulu, dude Lulu. Those are some things that I think about, and some things are realistic. Some things some of these things just take time. It depends on how I get there, and also how I use my money. I yeah. So let's talk about summer vacation. Um, Summer vacation. Well, I don't know about this summer because let me tell you, gas is up. Let's just think of other things that could be up. Hotel prices are up. Disneyland is up. Rent is up. Water is up. Electricity is up. Everything is up. And some people say like, oh, I think he's doing great for this country. I think our grocery prices are low and stuff. Now that now that is serious delulu that needs to be looked into and to put to a halt. Because what are you talking about? Well, anyways, I was thinking of going to California this summer again, but I'm not going to record because I made it. Also, I made a decision. Well, this should have been a decision from the get go, but from the start of like the summer, I am not putting out any more videos. My date is July, like the week of Juneteenth. No more YouTube videos. And I just didn't realize it that I didn't give myself a date, like a deadline to just stop putting out things. Um, and there's still things that I put out, to be honest, because it's like I don't want to stop doing what I love, but also if I keep doing that, if I keep doing the things that I love, then I don't want it. I don't like it anymore, and I don't want that for me. And so I'm already in the stage of like warning. You already know, you told yourself you're not going to do any more things, but you're still planning things. And I know it's hard, but if you keep going on this path, you will not like it. And so I decided to put a deadline. And here's why. Oh, I mean, well, already told you why, but here's the thing that got it started. So remember that I told you that I wasn't going to any concerts anymore because like I'm trying to save up money to go to ASU or whatever, and it just doesn't have to be ASU, but that's one of the things. So, and this is like, and to me, this was like a setup. Like someone set me up, and I don't like it. I don't blame myself. Um, the blame on me is like 90% and 10% is on the internet. So I went on Instagram and I was just scrolling because I just wanted to scroll and see because I was so bored and something happened and I was like, you know what? I need to distract myself. So I went on Instagram and then I scrolled down and what I see, a post. And what that post is, oh, the Mortgage Catch-Up Center, formerly known as the Phoenix Arena, formerly known as the Footprint Center. And the post said, like, you want to be something to do with like it had an artist called Louis Tomlinson or Lewis Tomlinson. Sorry, it's one of the two. I'm just and so it said you want to get shouted out or something, you want to leave a message for him, go on, click the link in the bio and do that. So I went to the link in the bio and it read additional things, but it said like one of the things is like, just for him to be in Phoenix and then just welcoming him, like record a message, and so that's what I did. I recorded a message, and then when I realized that when I said, I'm so excited for you, I can't wait to see you, my brain was like, it wouldn't make sense if I, I've said this or made this whole recording if I didn't go to a show. So my brain was like, in order for you to send this recording and to make it sense, and if this does go out, which I think it would because my audio, hold on, let me just play it for you. Let me just do that because, listen, I think it's funny, but also it's like, it just sounds like really, I wouldn't say cute, but it just sounds like enthusiastic of a fan like me to like say this. But look here's what I would say. Here's what I said. Sorry. Hello, Lewis. This is Cosmo Star, and I just wanted to say thank you for coming back to Phoenix. You already know what's up. You already know that this is the hottest city in America, and I'm so glad that you're coming back. Last time you were on tour, I was at Faith of the Future, and it was so amazing. It was such a blast, and I just wanted to say that. And also, your new album eats down 10 out of 10, left no crumbs. I love it. My favorite song is You Set Me on Fire. And I really just love the album. You eat every single time. So I just wanted to thank you. And hopefully you'll definitely have a great time with this show. Because you already know what's up and you already know we're the hottest people on earth, including you. So thank you, and we'll see you soon. So that was it. So that's why my brain was like, you need to go to this show. And so I went on Ticketmaster, and I actually already saw the event and saw the ticketing prices weren't actually that bad, because for some reason Ticketmaster, or I don't know how the process goes, maybe Noah, my teacher, can tell me or whatnot, like who decided this, but the prices for it aren't bad because they there's it said like there's not going to be a surge price or something, or like when these secret scam artists or whatnot, like they buy the tickets and then they jack the prices up. It's not going to be like that, because if they wanted to resell it, it's going to be the same price as they bought it. And so, but I saw the tickets before, and I was like, I'm not going to the show because I already saw him. But then, oh my gosh, I bought the ticket, and guess where I'm going to be in? The pit. I'm going to be in the pit. And that, how much that's going to cost? Or how much it cost me? It's not that bad, but, it still cost me. And this is the exact, estimated $173 point something cents. That's not bad, but you know why I'm like sounding weird right now? It's because I literally told myself I'm not going to any of these more concerts. Like, I'm tired. I mean, I love it. I love making outfits, the fashion and stuff, meeting people. But it's just like, it's work. And every time I have to go to a concert, I have to record the whole thing. And then, I have to like post it on my YouTube, and also go on Amazon and buy a drive so that I can put it, so I can save it. Okay? I'm sorry. I just need a moment. Like, if I haven't emphasized it enough already, it's like there's so many other things that I have to pay for. Like, it's like, and then like for you, you might be listening and you're like, I don't, you just bought the ticket. You don't have to buy fashion stuff and make an outfit, or you don't have to do this, or these extra other extra stuff. It's literally my branding, or like it's literally me authentically. And I can't be going to a concert and dress like casual. I have to, every time when I go to a concert, I'm representing the artist in some way, whether if it's the album, whether if it's their name, whether if it's something that they're recognized for. I have to act accordingly with it. No casualness in what I do. So that is why it's just like, ugh. But realizing, I'm gonna do something different. I'm not gonna act. Oh my god. It. Now I'm deciding I don't want to do that. Like, I was thinking not record, and just like, put the phone down. And like those artists be like, you don't, I understand you want to capture every moment, guys, but you know just put the phone down. Like, I was gonna be like that, but I can't. Cause what if I'm in front row, right, at the barricades, and then Louis, sorry, is like right there, and he's looking at my amazing outfit, and then he might be like staring at me or like singing towards at me. I have to capture it, and it's just something that some not in a once in a lifetime thing, but that's not you're not gonna have some person, some popular artist, like look at you for 5 seconds, or like there's just it's not gonna happen. So that's where concerts are happening at. So I just wanted to say that. So and when I did that, I was upset for like for the rest of the day, because I was like, you crossed your boundary, Cosmo. Like, I love you, I love myself, but you crossed that boundary. And you're gonna have to live with that. And then it went away the next day. So, you know, that tells you something. But I'm having a deadline. That is the last concert. This How Do We Get Here is the last like concert I'm going to, and I made it very clear that I put it on my calendar, and it's on the first week of my vacation, is that concert on Sunday, and then the rest is either in California and then at home. That's it. So I made that deadline. And you're wondering, like, when is that deadline? Like, it's on the start of Sunday, but obviously you're going to see something. You're going to see the concert video or whatever later. Whatever. It's just, I'm just, it's a mental and physical thing, to just, that's something that I have to work out, and it's like, well, if you're not going to these things or whatnot, then you're just going to be bored, and you're bored. And like, there's not enough events in Phoenix because it's so called boring, but there's just so much culture, which is not a problem. So, and they haven't built that hockey race, that Mattel Park yet. Like, I'm still waiting, as soon as that's finished, I'm going to go to that place, and then I'm going to come back the next month, and then the next month, and then the next month, depending on how good that place is. Okay. But anyways, that's my summer vacation. Let's talk about fashion. Okay. I love fashion. I don't like fascists. I love fashion. Okay? So, the reason why I brought this up is because I have stated this on my other podcast that I'm attending somewhere that is fashion. Something red. Something that Christian people, particularly, when they hear this word, they're like, like they praise the Lord, because if you do something bad, you go to hell, and who is in hell, right? So I'm going to that event, and it's actually a movie premiere. And I'm gonna be in high fashion and stuff. I'm gonna be in heels, like women's heels, for the first time. And I have tried the heels on, And, they actually don't look too bad. Well, it's not my color, first of all. If I had black heels, I'll keep them. But, well, I'm still keeping it, but because I can't take them back after wearing it. But I do like the look because it's a different look. It's more like, I guess, like a feminine look than what I usually wear, which could be more presenting more masculine. But, that's hearsay or not say to other people, but that's my opinion. But then I'm also having like a fur red coat and a bag. And obviously, I'm going to have a red bag and also florals for spring. Groundbreaking. So I'm going to have a bag that represents spring. Because why not, In the bag, honestly, I'm like, it's so gorgeous that I don't know, keep it, even though I should be saving my money. But it's a really gorgeous bag. Like something that you would give to, a mother or someone in general who likes flowers. And it's also the type of bag that I really like. Um, but yeah, I also have that event, and also in the Phoenix Art Museum, there's a model. This is a new one because I just saw it last weekend, and it's like a fashion event, like, and you get to like show off by walking the runway or something. So I'll be doing that. So, but going back to like in general fashion, fashion. Like, I'm a musician, but I also love fashion, and I incorporate fashion in many ways in my music, but also casually. Well, I always talk about that I don't like to dress casually, but you know what I mean. Like it's my usual thing is to dress nicely in a casual and everyday setting. And so I love wearing blazers, double blazers. Let's be exact. I love wearing double blazers. I love corporate style because it's just like it's like for me it's like I get things done. Like I rock the corporate outfit and stuff, and I also have many accessories. Like I have a suitcase or a briefcase, whatever the hell, oh, whatever it is. It's a briefcase, and it's technically I'm using it right now to put like my documents, like my passport, um, my other things, that's top secret. But if I had another one, I would use it and I would take it everywhere with me. You could be thinking like, oh, or for you, whoever's listening at home or on a train or on the subway. Sorry, that you might carry a backpack with you. I love backpacks, but some of the backpacks that typically college students wear or whatnot, not for me. It has to be, and it's not like I want to be different than them. Absolutely not. That's not the mindset that we're thinking of. It's just the style that I'm looking at. I like things. I like leather things, but also something's black. I like black leather things. Like other colors is not, no. Because if I did other colors, then I could just do green or just do red or what something else like that's not in, It's, and I have stated this um that someone that I know has said that I am a beige mom or something. Like I just like dark colors or whatnot. And I'm like, okay, well, instead of a beige mom, I'm a beige dad, but I'm not even a dad yet. Oh wait, I actually am because I have a dog. Sorry, I am actually a beige dog. A beige dad. I do like. Okay, the house that I'm in, I do love the colors. Okay, I do love the colors. It's not like overwhelming. It's actually really calm. But when those children, I mean those parents, sometimes parents when they have a baby or a kid, when they buy stuff, there are some parents that don't care about the toy of the color, like they'll just give it to their child because, the child wants it and stuff. But there are parents out there that would buy a toy that matches their home. And will I be one of them? Absolutely. No. Um no, I'm not going to, cuz I don't want, it's not like the giver, It's not going to be gray. So the child can I don't want this child to grow up and be like, "Daddy, why don't you like colors?" And I'm like, "I do like colors. I just like specific colors and specific colors that are around me." Um Honestly, that sounds, if someone twisted this could have been sounding something different and something racist, but I'm talking about in terms of appliances, not people. So, um but I just it's not a bad thing. It's just a particular way. And if you've seen my Instagram and you've seen my official, the one that says Cosmo Star, not Cosmo's headquarters, it's all gray. And so I like black and white pictures. Yeah, anyways, going more towards fashion. So as a man, I like painting my nails, and obviously the particular color that I would paint my nails are black, unless it's like a specific event or whatnot. But what got me into painting my nails was Harry Styles, because and honestly, this is the first man that was like, okay, he rocks with the outfits and stuff, and also he does his nails. But it's not about just Harry Styles. Like, I had it my own way. I was like, you know what, I want to do that too, because that's pretty cool. Like, because typically you see women wearing nails, or whatever it's colored, or whatever it's I don't know, long nails or short nails, but typically you don't see that with a man. But that's not something that's bad. And I don't know, before, I knew along the way with myself, how when people have bad views about something, in terms of when it's talking about gender wise, oh, men shouldn't wear pink because that's a girl color, or men should be wearing blue or black or anything but purple or pink because that's girl. Like, we need manly things and stuff like that. That's just so ridiculous. And I I knew that wearing different things wouldn't change my gender, because even if I was I don't know, discovering myself or whatnot, when I saw other men doing non non typical things, it didn't change really what they are. It didn't change their gender. It didn't do anything of that. It just changed maybe the appearance, but they're still the same person. So for me, I kind of already kind of knew that. It's just other people, maybe my parents, or honestly, it's my, listen. If someone walked on the street and they saw how I look and they call me the F word, right? Because maybe they saw my nails or they saw the outfit, or just in general, I'm gonna think obviously they're homophobic. Maybe they're also racist because they see but also they're uneducated. Um, yeah, they're uneducated. But for me, it doesn't make me feel upset or any way. I actually just kind of ignore it. Honestly, if someone was said something derogatory to me, I'd be like, Actually, I wouldn't say anything because that would be my response. I don't know what I would say in terms of it. Like, if I was in a crowded room, I would clap back. Okay, I would clap back. But like, I'm like walking the street, just walk on by, you know. But with my parents, it was a different thing. It was just, how do I say this? A conversation that never needed to be having a conversation about. Like, it was not necessary to, I know parents, they have these views and they have these, like, when you're, excuse me, growing up with them or they want to make sure that, like, if they see something unparticular, you know what, they'll try to, like, change you in a way where, like, hopefully it doesn't turn you into something that they want to see. They don't want to see. Hold on. Let me cook for a second. Let me lock in. They don't want to see their child. They want to see their child in a particular way that could harm that child, because if the child did something that was unharmful to their health, and they did something different, then that parent is going to act in a bad way towards that child. And so that happened, and luckily it got passed through that, because I had an excuse. I was like, I'm in fashion, so I have to. That was like not my like response to being like that was not like my first response when they were like, why are you painting your nails, or like, stop doing this or stop doing that. But over time, when they saw that I do this like on the regular and stuff, going out to events and doing that, and even not even talking about going to events, but just like going out and stuff like that, they knew somewhere in their heart that he loves somewhat fashion, even though it's a particular way I don't like. But because of so many times where I've been trying to debate him and try to and then calling him names or whatever, it's just like, how are you going to complain? Complain about something else, but you can't complain about this anymore. So that's how I have progressed and show up a lot of the times at my college and also other places, and not to dress up, but just because it's authentically me. Like, I'm not doing this for no show. I'm not doing this because I'm called Kosmo, even though maybe that should be my legal name. I don't know. I'm deciding on that. Kosmo Star. But because I'm just authentically myself, and I love fashion. Okay? And by the way, I also bought a fashion book, like the world's so and so fashion book from and it's like Vogue, and I'm gonna start reading it, honestly, I already looked through it, just like a quick thorough, and I was like, oh, I'm actually liking these outfits, and I recognized some people that I probably don't know their name yet, but I have seen just, I don't know, videos and stuff of them walking down the runway like in the 90s, and then today as well, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I need to get more into the fashion world for sure. Okay, we're running out of time, but I just wanted to talk one more thing, and it's model trains. Yay. Hold on, let me sip my lemonade. Okay, let's talk about model trains. So, and by the way, for those who's listening on this podcast, I have a YouTube channel, and it's called Kosmo Station, and you can go check it out. There's only a couple videos as of the moment, but maybe, just maybe. I know it said I wasn't gonna do any more YouTube videos, but I think I was just talking about on this channel. Maybe on my other channel with the train stuff, I'll just post that when I'm in Maricopa and Tucson, or in California. I don't know, on my summer vacation. I don't know, but you can go check it out. And maybe there'll be more videos coming soon, but I just wanted to say that. So, so model trains. I feel like I talked about this in my first demo podcast, but I can't remember, and it's okay to talk about it again because I think it's interesting to talk about. So, I really like some United Kingdom old trains. Like, think of like the trains that were in Thomas the Tank Engine. Like those trains, I love every single one of them. But the one that I love the most is James because he is a traffic mix engine. So he's able to pull heavy loads of, freight and also passengers. But just looking at the detail of him, it's just absolutely stunning. Like the best stunning engine that I have ever seen on the show, and also I haven't seen it in real life, but I feel like there are some like versions or replicas of them in real life too. And so he's one of the best good looking I don't know, in the UK, is it North Hemisphere, just in the UK, okay? In the West here, in the wild, wild West, the locomotives, I know this can be controversial for like train folks at home. Okay, I just, there's so much to talk about within that, but just hear me out, okay? Some of these trains look almost exactly the same. However, there are some trains. There are trains that look exactly the same, but it just depends on the company. But also, there are some trains that are different, that are unique, but it just depends on the company. I don't know if that does not compute, but I said it. But I like these trains of where I'm at because I like the body of it more because it looks more tougher. I don't know. I don't know. It's just like the diesel locomotives. They look so much tougher. Like my favorite train company is using Union Pacific, and then the second one is BSNF, and then third is Amtrak. And I loved Amtrak. Gosh. To work on Amtrak is a dream. It is a dream because I would be a conductor or something. I wouldn't drive the train necessarily, but I would be on an airplane as a flight attendant. Well, I'll be the train attendant, aka the train conductor. So I would do that, and I would go country to country, going to places in the United States because that's where Amtrak is only mostly in. And yeah, I love doing that. I love that. Now, I think that's all the time we have because Noah's starting he looks like he's about to say something, and he'll probably say okay, time to get out, Kosmo. But thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate it. This was so much better. I'm so glad I made this because the first one, I was okay, shout out to blah, 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 blah. Well, I didn't say shout out, but, just I was just speed running it because Noah was turning off the lights, locking things up. And I was trying to okay, save this and then send it to me so I can pull this up in on my end and then upload it to, my YouTube. So, but this is a really great second demo podcast, and I can't wait for the third with Noah. So thank you guys so much for, did I say watching? My bad, for listening. Definitely check me out and check out some of my content. And also I know I'll be around. Yeah, I'll be around. I know I said I just need a break from YouTube and stuff like that. And I have my reasons because I already said. So, okay. Thank you so much for watching. Listening. Bye.